Coming up, a tractor-trailer accident shut down the interstate during the busy morning commute. We have a report from Manatee County. Plus, tourist tragedy. A duck boat sank during severe storms in Branson, Missouri. The latest from the scene. And new information about that Northport toddler who wandered away earlier this week. An autopsy is now out. Your Suncoast News starts right now.
You're watching ABC 7 News at noon.
Good afternoon, I'm Ray Collins, and for Scott Dennis, our top story, the morning commute came to a grinding halt on I-75 over the Manatee River today. A tractor-trailer cab was left hanging over the bridge. Our Stephanie Webb is just back from the scene with an update on this morning's incident. Stephanie?
Ray, to say that traffic was backed up would be an understatement. Now, on our way to the scene, we saw cars driving backwards next to other cars back down the exit ramps just to avoid having to stay in that traffic mess. So here's where it all started. About 7:25 this morning, emergency crews responded to a call of a tractor trailer dangling cab first from the I-75 northbound bridge that goes over the Manatee River near Ellington. Now, thankfully, the driver of the truck was able to get out safely, but the truck was stuck there. Now, it closed all of the northbound lanes in that area of 75 for almost 2 hours while crews worked to get that truck back up onto the bridge and then get it towed away. Now, crews were able to temporarily repair the hole left in the bridge, at least the part that faces the highway. But as you can see right here from the other side of the bridge, it's a pretty big chunk that was taken out of the concrete barrier right there. Now, as of right now, all the traffic on I-75 North is back up and running smoothly for the most part, at least for a Friday. Back to you, Ray.
All right, thank you, Stephanie. And no cause yet of the accident, but some moist roads out there this morning.
There were some pretty good bands of showers that came through. No thunderstorms, but there were good downpours of rainfall. Whether or not we get a lot of rainfall this afternoon or not, still kind of a big question mark in my mind. I think we'll probably start to taper those showers down this afternoon a little bit. So that's good news. Chance to dry out. Lakewood Ranch webcam showed a lot of rain clouds across the region, and some of them producing some fairly heavy rainfall this morning as a couple of bands of showers moved on through. At one point, all of the interstate from about University all the way down to Osprey was really under the gun for some heavy rainfall for a brief period of time, and then things kind of lightened up pretty quickly. There's a sharp division between the moist air to the north and the dry air to the south. And consequently, that presents something of a forecast dilemma as to how much of that dry air will lift north. We'll be talking about that in just a few minutes. But we do have some scattered showers in progress right now. Anna Maria, the most likely location for seeing a brief sprinkle or shower as one little band moves through. Otherwise, there are some more showers out in Gulf waters, but we'll see just how much rainfall we get this afternoon. I put the rain chance at about 40% by 3 p.m. Now, inland, I think you stand a much better chance of seeing some heavier rainfall. As we head into the evening and overnight, it'll be cloudy overnight and certainly still humid. As far as the weekend forecast goes, well, we'll talk about that coming up in just a few. Right?
Thank you, John. Right now, the death toll stands at 17 after a tourist boat sank near Branson, Missouri. As Maggie Ruley tells us, weather may have been a factor.
Oh no.
Witness videos show those terrifying moments right before a boat full of tourists capsized.
Need a water rescue. Will be north of the showboat. Will be a duck that has capsized.
Sending the 31 people on that duck boat, a popular tourist attraction which takes passengers on land and sea into the waters of Table Rock Lake.
It's going to take time to know the details of everything that's occurred, but I think it's important that we find out for sure exactly what events did occur.
At the time, a thunderstorm warning was in effect, with wind whipping over 60 miles per hour. Another duck boat passing by can be seen struggling to stay afloat.
We saw the two duck boats kind of struggling in the water. And
Trent Bear and his girlfriend Allison Lester saw the boat go down and say the bad weather came on fast and furious.
The wind really picked up bad and debris was flying everywhere and just the waves were really rough. So it was just suddenly and out of nowhere.
The president of the company who owns Ride the Ducks says their safety history over the past 47 years in operation has been impeccable, and they're still waiting to learn exactly what happened with the weather. But he tells CBS,
no, it shouldn't have been in the water if what happened happened.
Investigators, including a team from the NTSB, will be on the ground by this afternoon. They're expected to look at the exact weather conditions that were happening that day, as well as the construction of the boat. Maggie Rulli, ABC News, New York.
New details in the investigation of that death of a Northport toddler. The preliminary autopsy results show that Ava Perry's cause of death was drowning. She died after she was found in a canal near her home on Tuesday. The investigation is ongoing. New at noon, an Englewood woman is facing animal cruelty charges after deputies say she beat her dog to death with a crowbar. Animal Control says it happened back in January when Tammy Ewing first tried to euthanize her dog with an overdose. The reason? A torn ACL. Ewing told Animal Control she had the money to have the dog euthanized by a vet, but she was afraid it would be too traumatic. Ewing is now behind bars in Charlotte County with bonds set at $7,000. For more on breaking news here and across the globe, you can check out our new app. It's under WWSB or under My Suncoast. After a down day for the Dow, how are we doing today so far, Jeff Stern?
We'll see how that looks, but the week has been pretty strong overall, so that's good. The Dow is roughly about 0.25% positive. NASDAQ 0.10% and S&P pretty much flat for the week. Big news, Microsoft, GE, great earnings last night. Both of those are positive. We saw a 10-year Treasury bump up just a little bit, but still only about 2.85%. Woke up this morning, the futures were negative, but let's see how we're currently trading. The Dow Jones Industrial Average is at 25,099, up almost 35 points, 0.14% in the green. NASDAQ 7,851, up 25 points, over 0.25%. While the S&P 2,807 up almost 3 points, 0.1%.
Now, for a while, Elon Musk and Tesla could do no wrong, but their Model 3 less demand now?
Believe it or not, there's less demand.
Yeah.
The good news is they're coming up with a lot more production. They finally are slowly meeting their goals, but demand has dropped about 24%. We haven't seen that in a while. The one reason could be the $7,500 credit that they were getting for, not using gasoline is no longer in existence. And what happened before, you had to put down $1,000, then $2,500 when you picked out your vehicle, and then pay the rest upon delivery. But the demand is just not there. Even their more expensive cars are seeing much less demand, with the luxury market getting much stronger in the electric cars. And we'll see what happens. But right now, the Model 3, is not performing well as there's not as much demand.
Yeah, he's had some tough times lately. Some tweets that got him in trouble.
I wasn't going to go there, but yes, there's overall, it's down actually for the week. So
overall, okay.
Tesla's down.
See you at 5 o'clock?
No, but
Not
I'll
today.
see you next week. How about that?
Fair enough. Can't wait. Thank you, Jeff. Still to come on your Suncoast News, we'll tell you what is going on with the salmonella outbreak that may be due to tainted turkey. And later, why activists are split on posting plans online for 3D printable guns. After this.
The ABC 7 Stock Report is sponsored by Sunset Cadillac.
When my youngest, Addie, was 2.5, she was diagnosed with leukemia. When we first heard that diagnosis, you feel extremely alone. Walking in that Light the Night light with 6,000 people carrying lights, white for survivors, red for supporters, gold in memory of those who have passed. It's the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society's hope that every year there are fewer gold lanterns. Your lantern will make a difference.
Start a team, join a team.
Help us light the night.
Ready to open up new opportunities as an electrician? Don't do it yourself. Team up with Mr. Sparky instead. We're locally owned and looking for people like you. We offer our electricians great perks that you just won't get going it alone. And whether you're an apprentice, a master electrician, or somewhere in between, we have a spot for you.
Best decision I ever made.
Apply online or call today.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
This is an important message for anyone with Medicare. You may be eligible for an all-in-one Medicare plan that combines hospital, medical, and prescription drug coverage together with extra benefits that may include dental, vision, hearing aids, and much more. Some of these plans have a $0 monthly premium regardless of your income. That's right. For one low plan premium, or in some cases a $0 premium, you may be able to get coverage for your hospital visits, doctor appointments, prescription drugs, routine dental care, eyeglasses and contact lenses, hearing aids, and possibly more. Today may be the first time you've heard about this type of Medicare plan. The advisors at the Medicare.com helpline are licensed insurance agents who will explain more when you call. Call now to see if you qualify. Call the number on your screen now. Call now to see if you qualify for these benefits. You worked hard for your Medicare. Now is the time for your Medicare to work hard for you. Not affiliated with or acting on behalf of any government agency or program.
If you've been injured in an accident that wasn't your fault, and you're struggling to pay your bills while your case is dragging on, that's where Oasis Financial comes in. Only Oasis has Oasis Express Cash that can get you from $500 to $25,000 in as little as 24 hours, faster than anyone else. There's no risk and no out-of-pocket cost.
It was so simple. I made one phone call. Oasis was able to give me the money within 24 hours.
To pay for my electric bill, my rent, and my groceries for my children.
And even if you end up losing your case, Oasis lets you keep the money, so there's absolutely no risk to you. You don't have to worry about repaying Oasis.
If I had lost my case, then I wouldn't be responsible for paying the money back. And that was a blessing.
Oasis, they killed it, man. They helped me out. They gave me my life back.
See how much money you can get before your case settles. Call Oasis Financial, because life moves faster than your case. 1-800-874-8185. 1-800-874-8185.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
So we're almost at 90 degrees already, 89 degrees, and we have a dew point value way up there at 76, so it feels really sticky. And in fact, the feels like temperature is now at 100. So we'll probably top it out today at probably a feels like temperature of 103, 105, somewhere up in there, depending on whether you're closer to the coast or further inland. Humidity at 65%. Southwest wind coming in at about 15. It's going to be a little breezy this afternoon. If you're at the coastline, I suppose that's a helpful thing because a little bit of a breeze helps out. Our rain chance will go down to about 40%. We were up at 60 this morning, so we're trending downward as we head into the afternoon. And as we start to move into the later afternoon and early evening hours, I think we can take it down even further as most of the activity starts to move into inland areas. Tomorrow morning, probably about a 30% chance of showers, but I'll tell you, there's some tricky forecasting going on right now, and I'll tell you about it in just a second. So we have some stronger storms up to the north here, some cells that are actually showing some signs of rotation. Nothing like a tornado, just a strong updraft storm that's producing heavy rainfall up there. For us, we had bouts of heavy rainfall earlier on. Now we've just got a few scattered showers out here in the Gulf, and that will continue to move onshore over the course of the afternoon. Occasionally a shower here or there. Mostly, I would say, from about Venice northward, but certainly any place inland can have a chance at a shower from, I'd say, Charlotte County line all the way to the north. So we have a little bit of cloud cover. We have a little lot of sunshine as well, kind of a mix of sun and clouds throughout the afternoon, helping to boost our temperatures up. A lot of cloud cover to the north of us, though, holding their temperatures down. Rainfall amounts over the last couple of days, 2 days, looks pretty good. We've had some 1, 2, 3-inch rainfalls. We've even had some 5-inch rainfalls in the mix. But even given that, we are still down about 2 1/3 inches for the month. So we could use a little bit more rainfall around here. And we're not going to get out of this wet pattern, no doubt about it. My dilemma rises in what I'm going to do with tomorrow's forecast. You can see on this water vapor imagery, these kind of turquoise and blues, those are the high moisture content air. It's really right on our doorstep here, and then down to the south, some very dry air, a sharp line between what's dry and what's wet. It wouldn't take much to get some of that drier air into our area, and some of the computer models have been very consistent in taking some of this dry air, indicated here by blue, and kind of lifting it a little bit further north into our forecast area for Saturday, at least for half of Saturday. And then it goes away as quickly as it came, and we're left back in the soup here as we go through Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of next week. So what do we say about tomorrow? Well, I'll tell you what. I think I'm going to go with a little bit of drier air sneaking in here for tomorrow morning. So if you have an early tea time or whatever, hopefully it'll get off okay. My confidence is low in that forecast, I have to tell you, but I do think I'll go with slightly lesser rain chances for tomorrow morning through tomorrow afternoon. Then the moisture returns and you can see showers again tomorrow evening in the forecast, especially for inland areas. Southwest wind will continue, though, and certainly we'll get a few scattered showers through here, but I'll put the rain chance instead of at 60% tomorrow, I'll put it at about 40 to 30% for tomorrow morning. Good rain chances today. Again, slightly drier air tomorrow working into the forecast, and then return to more typical weather forecast as we head into the afternoon. And by a typical forecast, I'm talking about showers that build in inland areas and then drift back toward the coastline during the evening hours. So that would be nice. Now look at your rainfall forecast, taking it through the next 5 days. And you can see after we get through tomorrow morning, which is again questionable as far as whether we dry out or not, 5 days down the road, we certainly do pick up a lot of rainfall over the course of that 5-day period. In fact, these bright reds that you see here and oranges, that takes you up into the 5-inch category over 5 days. So that's a good little rainfall total, and hopefully we'll be able to pick that up. We'll see how it actually plays out. Red tide status, if you're headed to the beach, why, it doesn't look terribly good. These are the latest Mote Marine reports, and a full updated red tide update will come out later on this afternoon, and Bob will have that for you at 5. But right now, we've got some reports in the northern beaches of some kind of clearing conditions. The drift forecast seems to have verified, and a lot of the red tide has sunk a little bit further to the south. So we're looking at Nokomis coming in with a moderate amount of irritant in the air due to red tide in the waters. Venice and Manasota both reporting intense with some heavy fish kills down there. So not a good thing there. And Gasparilla, which had been in the clear for several days, now coming up with a low amount of toxins in the air and some fish kill as well. So this actually, Gasparilla, points south, could be increasing as we head into the, probably the next 48 hours or so. That's where the drift forecast would take us. All of that kind of skirting the coast and sinking south. So not a great thing in terms of red tide. As far as our beach forecast goes, southwest wind kind of breezy this afternoon, coming in at about 10 to 15, southwest wind at 15 through the evening hours, and then as we head into the overnight, we'll trend back that forecast to about 5 to 10 knots. Forecast, 2-foot seas, moderate chop on bay and inland waters. We have a couple of tides to talk about. We have a 7:22 this morning, and the next one won't come until 3:07 this afternoon. That'll be a low tide, and then a high tide comes your way at 8:38. Forecast over the next couple of days looks like this. Looking at 90 for a daytime high today, or a little higher than, 60% chance of rain showers, trending down to about a 30% chance, I'd say. 40% tomorrow morning, 30 or 40%. And then increasing as we head into the second half of the day. Sunday, 50%, the moisture's back. So too on Monday and Tuesday. By Wednesday, maybe we're back to the same old afternoon showers and thunderstorms, building inland, drifting back to the coast in the evening with a 40 to 50% chance. Ray?
Thank you, John. On to Health Smart now. A recall alert about a new nationwide salmonella outbreak that could be linked to raw turkey. The CDC says the outbreak has already made 90 people sick, 40 of those hospitalized in 28 states, but experts still haven't found a direct source. The meat was purchased from many different locations and in different forms, including ground turkey, turkey pieces, and whole turkeys. The CDC says samples of raw turkey products and live turkeys tested positive for salmonella. Now, to help prevent salmonella infection, wash your hands after handling any raw meat and poultry products. Cook those products to the recommended temperature and avoid feeding raw foods to pets. Symptoms include fever, stomach cramps. They usually last about 4 to 7 days, but most people usually recover without any treatment. And we'll have more news after this. Stay with us.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
So why should your choices be ordinary? Ghibli, the absolute opposite of ordinary.
Experience it at Sunset Maserati, Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
Did you know that a dirty CPAP system can make you sick? If you knew what could be growing in your mask and hose, it would keep you up at night. Now SoClean.com has released the world's first and only automated hands-free CPAP cleaner and sanitizer. With its patented design, SoClean is fast, effective, and hands-free, killing 99.9% of all CPAP germs. Try SoClean now through this special TV offer free for 30 days. Just call 800-604-0398.
My health has improved. It's simple to use, and I'm not worried about infections.
SoClean works on all CPAP machines and popular masks, destroying CPAP bacteria, viruses, and germs without the daily hassle of washing your system by hand. Just place your mask in, close the lid, and in just minutes, voila! Sanitized and ready to use. Try SoClean risk-free for 30 days. This is a limited time offer. Call now, 800-604-0398. Or visit SoClean.com today.
Every time you purchase a fishing license or register your boat, you're helping to preserve our nation's coastlines, lakes, rivers, and streams, protecting memories for generations to come. Learn how your participation in boating and fishing can help the environment at takemefishing.org/conservation.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Well, it's time for our Pet of the Week segment. And last time I filled in for Scott during the pet segment, we had some birds, and one of the birds flew away, so I'm a little bit nervous. John's got a bird with Marcia. And John, the one you have looks like your hair in the morning, doesn't it, early on?
Oh, that's good. Yeah, this poor baby looks like she's had some better days. What happened here?
Well, she's our special needs. And you know,
Aww.
this is something, and we hope that somebody will adopt her.
Where are you going there?
When you have a lovely...
Okay, what you doing with my earpiece? Not hairpiece, earpiece.
When you have a lovely bird like this, and you neglect it, which is a form of abuse, this is what we get. And they get so nervous and they get so anxious, and they just pluck their feathers, John.
Oh my goodness, that's not all they pluck.
But
Do I have
anyway,
Charlie or Dana here?
You have Dana.
Dana, how is it going?
Yes, she's
Dana?
a crested citron.
She's a pistol.
Well, yeah. And, you know, she's about
Who's a good bird?
20 years old.
Who's a good bird?
So she's really a youngster.
Who's a good bird?
And I sincerely hope that somebody will adopt her and give her a wonderful home, because as I said earlier when she was picking you to death here.
So where's she going? Why is she facing that way?
Yeah,
So
that's what you see when they're neglected. Now I have Charlie. Now Charlie is an African gray. And Charlie will probably live to about 75, maybe 80 years of age. And Charlie is just in fine fit and fiddle. And he too needs a home because, yes, he's talking to me. Well, maybe we're X-rated over here. I don't know.
I don't know what's going on. Now, this bird only pulled out its own hair, right? We're clear about that, right?
Well, yes, very, very much so.
I love this bird.
Yes,
I don't know why. I have a great affection for this bird.
Well, she has great affection for you, too. And but she's beautiful. She's beautiful. She has a beautiful soul. She has a beautiful heart. And all she needs is some love.
Will the feathers grow back?
No. Unfortunately, when they get that deep into their body, as it was explained to me, it's like just electrolysis. It's been pulled out. There's no follicles left.
Still something very cool about you, though.
Yes, well,
I
lots
really
of
like
character.
You. I really like. Yes, I do. I like you a lot. Yes, I do. What?
Oh,
what are you
she's
saying?
talking.
Are you talking to me?
She's talking to you.
What are you saying? Got something to say?
Yeah.
You got something to say?
Now,
what is it?
Charlie over here, you notice he's pretty calm. He's making some little motions with his mouth.
She's a beautiful bird.
Yeah?
Absolutely gorgeous. And birds are incredibly smart. We've said this before, but they are really smart animals.
They really are, yes. And, you know...
That feels good, actually.
Yeah.
Go a little to the left there.
Oh, she's looking at you, huh?
You're looking
what
at me?
personality,
Okay, so
right?
how can we adopt these gorgeous animals?
Well, these two animals and many others can be had by the Birds of Paradise, and you dial 727-366-9997, and
what a joy.
they will be very, very happy to talk with you. And I really hope that...
What's happening? What's happening here?
You may lose that mic.
What's going on?
She is thoroughly taken with you.
Okay, Ray, you better take.
I could
better take it from here.
I could just sit here and watch this all day. Do we have to come back to me? This is great. All right, thank you both. That was a lot of fun, and we'll have more news after this.
Reorganizing a space in your home? Save up to 20% on our beautiful light finishes during the California Closets Shades of White event. Contact us today for a free design consultation. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
Get more for your money at Sunset Subaru in Sarasota. Subaru vehicles hold their value better than any other brand for 2018, according to ALG. And Subaru is Kelley Blue Book's most trusted brand for 4 years running. The Subaru Forester is an IIHS top safety pick for 12 years running, and right now, you can lease a new Subaru Forester for just $229 a month, or get 0% financing with 0 down. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
When I was growing up, my mom told us, always treat others the way you want to be treated. She did business with companies that shared her values, like Mutual of Omaha. She had a guaranteed whole life insurance policy through United of Omaha Life Insurance Company, a Mutual of Omaha company. When my mother passed away, her United of Omaha policy helped cover her funeral expenses and bills, and they had money on its way to us within 24 hours.
United of Omaha is here to take care of you. When you call the number on your screen, we'll help find the right policy for you. If you're between 45 and 85, you can get coverage up to $25,000 with no medical exam. Call us right now at the number on your screen.
Now I know I'll be taking care of my family, even after I'm gone.
United of Omaha guaranteed whole life insurance. Call or go online now. Be there for their future.
Performing on stage takes mental and physical preparation. But one thing I never thought to prepare for was cervical cancer. 91% of cervical cancers are caused by the human papillomavirus, or HPV. The good news is there are vaccines that can protect you or your children from cancer. I survived my cancer, but you can stop cancer before it starts. Talk to your doctor and go to thinkaboutthelink.org to learn more.
Dear parents, it's time for a pop quiz. What's the best kind of play for kids? Play that makes us think? Or helps us pretend? Or teaches us rules? Or to be creative? Actually, every kind of play is important because different kinds of play give us different kinds of skills. Help us mix up the ways we play. Okay, class dismissed. Now go play.
Reorganizing a space in your home? Save up to 20% on our beautiful light finishes during the California Closets Shades of White event. Contact us today for a free design consultation. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
Coming up, plans might be in the works for another meeting between President Trump and his Russian counterpart. We'll tell you possibly when and where. Condo crackdown. Landlords on Longboat Key living with some new rules on short-term rentals. And ready, set, go. Kids compete with law enforcement and the second annual event at the Boys and Girls Club of Sarasota County. Those stories this half hour on your Suncoast News.
You're watching ABC 7 News at 12:30.
Welcome back. Our top story at 12:30. Presidents Trump and Putin may have another summit this fall in the U.S. As ABC's Janae Norman tells us, there's still buzz about the last one.
A series of shifting stances on Russian President Vladimir Putin. The White House now walking back President Trump's support of Putin's proposal for Russian authorities to question 12 Russian military officers recently indicted by special counsel Robert Mueller, with Americans invited to watch. In exchange, Moscow would be allowed to question American citizens accused of unspecified crimes in Russia.
I think that's an incredible offer.
The U.S. Senate rejecting the president's endorsement with a rare, unanimous, bipartisan vote.
Naive and absurd. There is no rule of law in Russia. There's the rule of Putin.
Then the White House issued a statement saying it is a proposal that was made in sincerity, but President Trump disagrees with it. And what came next was an almost unbelievable invitation that Vladimir Putin would visit the White House for a second meeting this fall. The president's top national intelligence officer, Dan Coats, learning about the invite during a live interview.
Say that again? That's going to be special.
The director of national intelligence openly criticized the president's decision to meet one-on-one with Vladimir Putin. And when asked whether there's a chance Putin may have secretly recorded that meeting, Dan Coats said that risk is always there. Janae Norman, ABC News, Washington.
New at noon, it'll soon be legal to post plans for 3D printable guns online. The government has reached an agreement with a guns rights activist that'll allow the plans to be posted as of August 1st. Back in 2013, a guy named Cody Wilson posted plans for a 3D printable gun. Well, the government ordered Wilson remove it, arguing that the plans could violate international traffic in arms regulations. He complied, but later sued the federal government. So now Wilson will be able to repost schematics for what he calls the Liberator, a gun made almost entirely out of ABS plastic, the same material used to make Lego bricks. Days before the start of spring training, I should say training camp in football, the Miami Dolphins are putting new rules in place for behavior during the national anthem. The players are getting a proper anthem conduct clause in their contract now. Miami's policy comes after the NFL decided teams would be fined if players didn't stand during the anthem while on the field. Now, players who still want to protest can stay in the locker room. Those who protest on the field can be fined or suspended. Happening today, candidate for governor Adam Putnam will host a meet and greet today in Venice. The state agriculture secretary will be at the historic train depot from 3 to 4 p.m. today. Putnam is behind in some recent polls in the Republican primary to Jacksonville Congressman Ron DeSantis. The primary is in 5 weeks on August 28th. The town of Longboat Key is cracking down on rental violations. The town has a 30-day minimum rental requirement, but the popularity of websites like Airbnb are tempting more owners to break the rules. In fact, since June, code enforcement officers have been fining rule breakers on the spot between $100 and $500. They're passing out 20 fines a month. In fact, some full-time residents say they're pleased with this.
We'll get what we're supposed to have out here, which is a 1 month minimum and not overnights and weekly.
The town's interest is never going to be in fining people. Our interest is in compliance.
Fines so far have been against owners, renters, and property management companies. One company is facing over $2,000 in fines for 6 citations just this month alone. All right, everyone's mind right now is on the weekend forecast.
Yep.
What do you have for us?
Well, you know, I think all in all, we're going to see a lot of kind of weather similar to what we've seen over the last several days.
Yeah.
A stream of moisture will continue to provide us with good chances of rainfall, and this southwesterly wind pattern will continue as well. Hopefully, though, for a period of time tomorrow, we'll get a little drier air in, which will reduce some of the rain showers as we head into the mid-morning and into the afternoon period. Yeah, we'll see. My confidence in that is kind of low, but still, most computer models suggest that that will occur. So I'll put it into the forecast and mention that, you know, it might not happen. So we're looking at Lakewood Ranch webcam, put into motion. You can see those showers that had rolled through earlier on this morning, producing some pretty good rainfall totals, but coming down in buckets at times, but fast movers, so the total rainfall amount was not all that great. We have a lot of rainfall to the north, but a pretty sharp delineation between the wet weather and the dry weather to the south. And I think that's going to be the case right straight through the next day or two. We have showers just basically coming in from Gulf waters again this afternoon. We'll have the complete forecast for you coming up in just a few.
All right, it is finally time for lunch, and for that, here is Chef Judy Gallagher. Judy?
Well, this is one of those dishes that is just going to be in your notes to make any time because it's so delicious. Today I'm using cheese tortellini, and I'm going to make a mushroom sausage ragu. I have a little diced pancetta left over from a previous recipe that I had in my fridge. So I went ahead and grilled that up, got it nice and crispy. We're gonna add that. I'm rehydrating some dried mushrooms, soak them for about a half an hour in boiling hot water. Now the thing is, the liquid has a lot of flavor, so we'll add that. Normally I'll say drain it down. We'll add that as a substitute instead of something like broth or wine, and it will really balance it out. We'll add a little bit, a half and half, just a little bit to get the creamy consistency. So stay with me. In just a few minutes, I'll be back to start cooking Italian style. It's a hearty meal, and I think you'll really enjoy it.
Now, Manatee and Sarasota County school districts are trying to fill over 100 teaching positions. In Sarasota County, there are 113 teaching jobs open and over 20 other administrative jobs. There are also 10 bus driver jobs available as well. The new school year begins in less than 1 month. School board candidates at the same time. The League of Women Voters is hosting a forum next month at the Selby Library. It's August 6th at 5 p.m. There are 8 candidates running for 2 separate districts in Sarasota County. A former business recruiter for Sarasota County government is now working for the school district. The school board approved Jeff Maltzby for the job of assistant superintendent. He takes the place of Scott Lempe, who retired last month. Maltzby says he's looking forward to maintaining a steady, proactive pace to deliver the best results for students. He starts his new job on Monday. Earlier today, teams took to the water to take part in the 2nd annual Rock the Boat Regatta at the Boys and Girls Club of Sarasota County. Teams of local kids and law enforcement spent weeks working on their boats, which are made entirely of, get this, cardboard and duct tape. They competed for several categories, including most creative, fastest, and the prestigious Ultimate Rock the Boat Regatta Champion. Great place. All right, back to Judy now, who's got some great lunch ideas for us right now. Judy?
So I already started with about a tablespoon of butter and a teaspoon of olive oil. That kind of balances it out. Not too much olive oil. We don't want it too slippery in the sauce, but it will keep the butter from burning. Now we're going to add 2 diced shallots, which I really love because it's lighter than an onion or a garlic, but it really enhances the flavor. Shallots are just such a big part of my kitchen. I just love them. Let's give that just a moment to toss around. Then we're going to take some shiitake mushrooms. Now remember, in the shiitakes, you need to take the stems off. They will not cook down. Shiitakes tend to be expensive, so what you want to do is you want to make sure, if you can, get the stems only, or just a small amount, and they're very tender, and that's what makes it so nice to use different wild mushrooms. Over here we have some rehydrated porcinis. First I'm going to do is just use my spatula to drain. We'll add that into this, and then we'll add the broth in just a few minutes. So let's kick up the heat on this right now as it sautés, and there's a little bit of that oil that's come off the pancetta, or you can get diced prosciutto often in stores like the Fresh Market. Perfect addition. This right here, fantastic. Now, if you wanted to stop without any of the meats, that's fine. You might want to add a little broccoli rabe to the dish and keep it more vegetarian, but we're going full force, right? So we'll saute this along a little bit more. Now it's going to be okay to add that mushroom broth because we're going to put the heat way up on high and we're going to give it a chance to saute and reduce. Then when we come back, what I'm going to do is I browned some hot and mild sausage, and you can either leave it in the casing or take it out. I always love when you could buy when you can buy bulk Italian sausage. And there are some darn good sausage over there at Piccolo's Italian Market in Gulfgate. So I tend to buy a fair amount of sausages from them. They have things like broccoli rabe sausages and garlic and cheese sausages and just really good old Italian sausages. So here we go, little salt and pepper. The next 10 minutes, this will reduce this liquid down plenty enough that we can add the other ingredients, the cream, and bring it all together with the tortellini. I'll be back and finish up the dish in just a few minutes.
Temperatures are rising and the deals are heating up during the summer clearance event at Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat in Sarasota. Get KBB's 2017 Best Buy Award overall winner, the Chrysler Pacifica, for just $23,999. Or save big and get the new Chrysler 300 Touring with an MSRP over $30,000 for just $21,999. That's a savings of over $8,000. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat in Sarasota today.
Did you know that a dirty CPAP system can make you sick? If you knew what could be growing in your mask and hose, it would keep you up at night. Now SoClean.com has released the world's first and only automated hands-free CPAP cleaner and sanitizer. With its patented design, SoClean is fast, effective, and hands-free, killing 99.9% of all CPAP germs. Try SoClean now through this special TV offer free for 30 days. Just call 800-604-0398.
My health has improved. It's simple to use and I'm not worried about infections.
SoClean works on all CPAP machines and popular masks, destroying CPAP bacteria, viruses, and germs without the daily hassle of washing your system by hand. Just place your mask in, close the lid, and in just minutes, voila! Sanitized and ready to use. Try SoClean risk-free for 30 days. This is a limited time offer. Call now, 800-604-0398. Or visit SoClean.com today.
I'll be right back.
Picking out a new ceiling fan? That's a do-it-yourself. Installing your new ceiling fan?
No.
That's a don't do-it-yourself. For ceiling fans, rewires, or anything electrical, play it safe. And call on the trained electricians from your locally owned Mr. Sparky. It's no accident that so many of our customers are repeat customers. Trust Mr. Sparky for all your electrical repairs.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Designers do it with style.
Tell me what's going on here.
Why, you don't like my hair?
The Mark and Mandy Show. In-depth design ideas.
What is up with the tuck tape here? Let's cover it up.
Amazing beauty and fashion tips.
So Halle Berry has amazing skin. Her secret is coffee grounds.
No.
Delicious recipes.
Today, I'm gonna show you a special dish that is sure to please that special someone in your life.
Watch the Mark and Mandy Show right here on your favorite channel.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
So we're looking at pretty calm conditions out there currently. 89 degrees the air temperature, dew point value 76. It feels sticky, it feels warm, humid. That gives us a feels like temperature already at 100 out there. And with plenty of sunshine around, I think we'll kick up that temperature probably into the low 90s again. So a feels like temperature of 103 to 105, certainly not out of the question this afternoon. Our rain chance is probably around 40% as we head into the afternoon period. We had an earlier rain chance that was much higher, but as we go into the afternoon, I think more and more we'll start to see those rain chances pushed further and further inland. Still a chance at a bout of showers as we head into the evening along the coastline, but mostly the activity will be inland. A lot of rainfall to the north. There could be some flooding issues up in North Florida as we head into the next several days. That trough low pressure up there, that's not going anywhere, and a southwesterly wind will continue for us. The big question is whether we get a little bit of the drier air that's located really just around Fort Myers, whether that kind of migrates a little bit further north for a time before retreating again. I think maybe it will tomorrow morning. We're looking at a few scattered showers out in the Gulf coming this way, and certainly a chance of rainfall over the next couple of hours, almost any time, almost anywhere, not out of the question. We have a lot of cloud cover to the north. We have a lot of sunshine to the south. The sunshine is actually going to help to stabilize our atmosphere a little bit and promote the development of more showers as we head into the afternoon. So here's the situation. This is the amount of moisture available to produce rainfall in the atmosphere. Redder is wetter. Here, the very moist content air is located just to our north, while the dry air from about Fort Myers southward. Well, some computer models suggest that in fact, many of them suggest over the next 12 to 36 hours, we might get a little bit of a northward motion in that dry air, so that as we head into Saturday, maybe we start the day off with a few less showers around, or perhaps less intense showers. But then as we head into the afternoon on Sunday right through next week, we'll get that humid air back in place, and we'll be left with, some pretty wet weather, I think, as we head into next week. High pressure, the dominant weather feature for us. A southwesterly wind flow continues. Generally, that suggests a morning shower near the coast, followed by inland showers later in the day. By next week, I think we'll start to see that trough of low pressure begin to pull out, another front advance in, and the high pressure ridge kind of reorient out into the Atlantic. That should bring us a more southeasterly wind flow, which we normally would have in summer, that tends to return us to a more typical summertime pattern. Winds a little bit elevated, boaters, southwest at about 15, moderate chop out there. Today 90, tomorrow 92, a little bit more sunshine during tomorrow morning, I think, and then a few scattered showers during the evening hours as we head into Sunday. The moisture is back, and then as we head into next week, I think we have a good chance of seeing showers and thunderstorms each day. Back to you, Ray.
Thank you, John. On to consumer news now. Another top executive is leaving Uber, the ride-sharing company. The company's head of global finance is leaving for a similar job at a food delivery startup called DoorDash. Uber is still looking to replace him and the company's CFO. And of course, last week, Uber's head of human resources resigned after an internal investigation into how she handled claims of racial discrimination within the company. Big growth at Domino's. They want to open more than 2,000 new stores across the company. The company's investing $120 million to prepare for the expansion. There are currently 5,000 Domino's locations nationwide. Over the next 10 years, the pizza chain said it would want to add about 2,000 more. The locations would also help expand the Domino takeout business as well. And speaking of food, let's get back to Judy, who's in the kitchen right now. Judy?
So now I'm going to add a little Vicks garlic. I get this over at the Spice and Tea Exchange. Garlic salt's going to work just as fine. And I already have the salt and pepper in there, so that's more than enough. Because the sausages, if you are going to throw in a little crispy pancetta, that's going to add some salt to the base as well. Now it's time to add the brown sausages. And just make sure if there is fat in the pan from the sausages that you drain that out. You don't want a greasy dish. That's really important to know. Now we're going to take some half and half, about a cup's worth. And again, we're going to reduce that way down. And then we're going to do Parmesan shaved. I really like to get a chunk of Parmesan and shave it myself, like I say in any recipe. Buying blue cheese crumbles, already grated Parmesan, you lose some of that flavor. So whenever you can get cheese that is just cut off the wheel, or you can buy a wedge and grate yourself, it's going to have much better flavor. So you can see it's already starting to create this creamy mushroom broth. Oh my gosh, this is just so delicious. Now we're slowly going to start adding the cheese tortellini. What's really fun is I can save some tortellini aside for 2 days from now and make a really nice antipasto cold salad with that. So that will be a great second meal. I love when we have additions that I can show you that can not only be leftovers, but you can turn into a totally different meal. So we'll do that, and we'll add some diced salami and artichoke hearts and marinated olives and marinated artichoke hearts and a simple bold balsamic, and that will just be a wonderful salad to enjoy for lunch. So look at this. This is just cooking down so beautifully and decadent. Little more cheese, and then of course we'll grate some cheese on top as we're going around the dinner table for our guests. Now you come back in just a minute and I'll tell you where you can find the recipe and so much more.
Right, sounds great. Thank you, Judy. Still to come on your Suncoast News, we'll tell you where you can go to buy a car from Hollywood superstar Mark Wahlberg. That's story and entertainment news after this.
Hello, I'm John Merce. Rugs As Art is celebrating yet another anniversary, and I would personally like to thank each and every one of you for the many years of continuous support. All during the month of July, we're having a grand celebration. We have flooded our showroom with yellow tag specials, meaning more discounts and more savings than ever before, plus free padding. So don't miss this anniversary celebration at Rugs As Art, Sarasota's bigger and better area rug superstore.
This is an important message for anyone with Medicare. You may be eligible for an all-in-one Medicare plan that combines hospital, medical, and prescription drug coverage together with extra benefits that may include dental, vision, hearing aids, and much more. Some of these plans have a $0 monthly premium regardless of your income. That's right. For one low plan premium, or in some cases a $0 premium, you may be able to get coverage for your hospital visits, doctor appointments, prescription drugs, routine dental care, eyeglasses and contact lenses, hearing aids, and possibly more. Today may be the first time you've heard about this type of Medicare plan. The advisors at the Medicare.com helpline are licensed insurance agents who will explain more when you call. Call now to see if you qualify. Call the number on your screen now. Call now to see if you qualify for these benefits. You worked hard for your Medicare. Now is the time for your Medicare to work hard for you. Not affiliated with or acting on behalf of any government agency or program.
To be able to just get my son here and not think about how we will pay for it, it just takes so much weight off of my family. St. Jude allowed me to focus on being a mom to Bryce. And sometimes I'm just in awe of the impact St. Jude has, not only on this community, but the world.
All hands on deck. What's up? I want to point out 3 tips for using the home computer more safely. Point away.
First, stop. Make sure your software is up to date and that you've password protected your computer's login and Wi-Fi connection.
Next, think before visiting a site, opening attachments, or clicking on links.
Then connect, knowing you're helping make the web safer for you
and for everyone. Make Stop, Think, Connect part of your daily online routine.
Each day, researchers make discoveries that bring us closer to the moment when all cancer patients can become survivors. Their progress is made possible with the help of clinical trials. Clinical trials are the brightest torch researchers have to light their way towards better treatments. And if you've been diagnosed with cancer, they may be your brightest ray of hope. Speak with your doctor and visit standuptocancer.org/clinical trials to learn more. Together, we can stand up for all of us.
Voila, we have this really rich dish, right? So it's the cheese tortellini with the 2 types of sausage, wild mushrooms, shiitakes, porcinis, portobellos. If you don't want to use a pasta, a great substitute is to use a really good stone ground grits. I get mine from Charleston, of course, but that also makes for this creamy bowl of deliciousness. Now you can find this recipe, the video, and so much more by going on mysuncoast.com. Click on the dining page. You can also enter every Wednesday if you sign up for our culinary newsletter. If you've already signed up and you're getting it, great, enjoy it. You'll be entered to win a $50 gift card to one of our restaurant partners that's on the dining page. And remember to click on for culinary events, everything that's happening that's food, wine, and deliciousness related. So while I enjoy my Italian dish, I'm going to send it over to you guys.
Thank you, Judy. Later on today on ABC 7 News at 4, a milestone for the new Atlanta Braves spring training facility in Northport, where construction now stands. Plus, putting the rule of finders keepers to the test. Florida deputies search for a man who found and kept money left out at Walmart. That story and much more later today on ABC 7 News at 4. Entertainment news now. An iconic sitcom house is up for sale. It's actually the second most photographed house in the country. ABC's Maggie Rulli has that and more in today's Showbiz Wrap.
Another member of the Gotti family has gotten pinched. 32-year-old Carmine Gotti and Yellow has been arrested for allegedly running an illegal scrapyard in Queens, New York. And Yellow is the grandson of the late mob boss John Gotti and former star of the reality show Growing Up Gotti, which aired from 2004 to 2005. Here's the story of a house for sale, a very Brady house. The iconic home used in the opening and closing of the Brady Bunch can now be yours for just under $2 million. Quite a bump up from the roughly $60,000 the family paid for it 50 years ago. The real estate company handling the sale says it's the second most photographed home in the country, second only behind the White House.
Good morning, Vietnam!
The man who inspired that iconic line, Air Force disc jockey Adrian Cronauer, has passed away at age 71. His words, immortalized by Robin Williams, brought the complexities of the Vietnam War to movie screens across America. Cronauer, who wrote the screenplay, worked in radio for many years after the war and later became a Pentagon advisor. And finally, one teen has Harry Styles to thank for an unforgettable coming-out story. A diehard fan named Grace caught his attention at a concert in San Jose last week with a sign saying she was going to come out as bisexual. The Kiwi singer not only called her out on stage, but offered her words of encouragement. Grace said her mom was overjoyed when she later showed her the video. And that's what's happening in Hollywood. I'm Maggie Bruley, ABC News, New York.
Actor Mark Wahlberg continues to diversify in Ohio. First, he opened a Cleveland restaurant called Wahlburgers, like that. Now he bought a Chevy dealership in Columbus. Wahlberg's other businesses include a movie production company, a health and wellness company, and a line of bottled water.
That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Finally, 49 years ago, billions around the world and John Scalzi gathered around their TV to watch as the Apollo 11 astronauts took the first steps on the moon. Neil Armstrong would be the first of only 12 people in history to step foot on the moon. Some of the items they used during the mission are still on display at the Kennedy Space Center on Florida's East Coast. Now, sadly, I was a hair too young to have watched that. Did you watch it?
Oh, of course.
Yeah?
Oh, the world stood still.
I bet.
It was amazing, because we didn't know what the moon was like, whether they would sink in, whether it would be safe to land. It was just amazing. Whether they were going to bring back germs. It was great.
It was overnight, wasn't it?
Late in the afternoon.
Afternoon?
As I recall.
Shows how young I was. All right, have a great afternoon. We'll see you Monday on Good Morning Suncoast.
If you don't want to fall immediately into love, look away. If you don't want to awaken a desire for excellence, look away. If you don't want to be seduced, please look away.
Rediscover your passion for driving at Sunset Maserati Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
Ready to open up new opportunities as an electrician? Don't do it yourself. Team up with Mr. Sparky instead. We're locally owned and looking for people like you. We offer our electricians great perks that you just won't get going it alone. And whether you're an apprentice, a master electrician, or somewhere in between, we have a spot for you.
Best decision I ever made.
Apply online or call today.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
So, how many of us feel completely confident about our financial future? Let's hear some specifics. Yes, go ahead.
I don't want to be a burden to my kids. When my husband died, it took almost all of our savings to give him a proper funeral. I honestly don't know if there's enough to bury me, let alone cover expenses should something happen.
Okay. Let's talk solutions. One thing you may want to get in place is a guaranteed whole life insurance policy from United of Omaha Life Insurance Company, which is a Mutual of Omaha company. This is affordable coverage, which provides a cash payment which can cover funeral expenses, bills, and other financial needs. Most payments are on their way within 24 hours. Yes, sir.
I need medical exams, things like that.
No medical exams. If you're between the ages of 45 and 85, you can call this number, or you can go online and apply for coverage up to $25,000. United of Omaha Guaranteed Whole Life Insurance. Call or go online now.
Keep up with the Suncoast. Watch your favorite ABC7 shows on your streaming device.